Today marks another milestone in international travel resuming. But did you know that your choice of COVID vaccine may determine where you are allowed to travel? The UK, Italy, Portugal, Croatia, Spain, and Greece have lifted international travel rules to allow travelers in and out of the country. And the rest of Europe are slowly following suit. This follows the Australia and New Zealand travel bubble opening. With Europe, the US, and other countries coming out of lockdowns and cautiously reopening for international travel, your ability to travel may hinge on whether you have been vaccinated or not. But are you aware that the type of vaccine you have may determine your ability to travel, or whether you need to quarantine or not? In this video, we look at the interesting patchwork of vaccines, and how the various types of authorizations by countries mean that, if you take a COVID vaccine, it may not be recognized by the country you are visiting. But first, we want to thank you for joining us. Find us on all the other social media channels, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and click that bell to get notified when we release a new video. We also appreciate your likes and comments below, as it helps to support our channel. Oh, and don't forget to check out our website at immigration&migration.com. This video is brought to you by IAM. We believe that travel improves and inspires you and the people around you. We help you travel by providing services which overcome barriers and frameworks that simplify and enrich your experience. We just happen to be immigration lawyers. So reach out to your IAM visa coordinator when you're ready for your adventure, or already on one, and would like some assistance. As the world reopens its borders to international travel, after the coronavirus pandemic, it is becoming clear that your choice of vaccine may determine where you're allowed to travel. The EU is planning to allow Americans and other vaccinated travelers to travel into the European and Schengen countries from this summer if they have been vaccinated by a vaccine that is approved by the European Medicines Agency. The current list of vaccines approved by the European Drug Agency are: Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine Moderna, Vaxzevria, previously COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca, COVID-19 vaccine Janssen. It means that if you have taken the vaccine by Chinese makers like Sinovac Biotech Limited and Sinopharm Group Co. Limited, or the Russian Sputnik V, are likely to be barred from entry for the foreseeable future. Which of course, may be a setback for international travel. On the other hand, China also only currently recognizes Chinese-made vaccines, and its vaccines not approved in the US or in Western Europe. Currently, to enter China, you need a health declaration form from the Chinese embassy, providing evidence of negative nucleic acid and antibody tests for COVID-19, taken no more than 48 hours before you travel, or alternatively, prove inoculation with a vaccine produced in China. Following health checks on arrival, you will then need to enter mandatory quarantine for at least 14 days. Bloomberg found a married couple based in Hong Kong, which has two vaccine options available, one from Sinovac, and the other by Pfizer-BioNTech. The wife plans to sign up for Sinovac, for easier movement in and out of mainland China. Meanwhile, her British husband will go for the Pfizer-BioNTech shot, she says, to boost his chances of visiting family in the UK. Russia, on the other hand, has approved 3 vaccine shots, Covivac and produced by the Chumakov Center, the Sputnik V shot, developed by Moscow's Gamaleya Institute, and finally, Epivac Corona, developed by the Vector Institute in Novosibirsk. Although only testing is required for Russia, no mandatory vaccinations are currently required. The Russian government initially did not plan to introduce COVID passports. But at the end of January 2021, Russians started to receive electronic vaccination certificates. The Russian COVID passport is a QR code with data on the vaccination against the COVID-19 virus. Many countries have shut their borders amid the pandemic, some allowing entry only to citizens, and even then, with weeks-long quarantines after arrival. While vaccines are seen as the way to remove those entry barriers, considerable uncertainty remains over how, or if, nations will differentiate the at least 11 shots available worldwide. Governments from China to Europe are discussing vaccine passports, but it's unclear if countries will pursue universal recognition of all shots, or be selective on which they choose to recognize, particularly with the rise of virus variants, and questions over whether the current crop of vaccines is as effective against them. China is expected to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech jab later this year. China isn't the only place that's restricting access to people with certain vaccinations. Iceland currently omits Chinese and Russian vaccines from the list of those it approves for entry. The question of vaccine recognition is going to come to a head for tourism-dependent countries, with the $9 trillion global travel industry effectively paralyzed since the pandemic began. Expect things to change. For example, Chinese tourists have been among the biggest groups of foreign visitors to travel hotspots in Europe, America, Southeast Asia, Australia, and New Zealand before the pandemic. While Indonesia, home to Bali, and Thailand have approved and are administering Chinese shots. New Zealand and Australia, which have seen their relations with China deteriorate the past year, do not. Evidence of vaccines is vital for some airlines, holidays and cruises, while reducing the number and cost of tests in destinations like France, Greece and Cyprus. Vaccinations will not be necessary at most destinations, but mandatory for many cruises, some tours and a handful of flights this summer. Greece, Spain, and Portugal have said UK travellers won't need to be vaccinated for travel this summer. However, if you have not been vaccinated, you will have to submit to COVID-19 tests, and therefore face increased costs. The UK government has said it is developing the NHS app to provide proof of vaccination at airports and borders. This will be your vaccine passport. It's not yet clear exactly how this will work, and if it is interoperable with the EU's Digital Green Certificate. A paper version will also be available, but both will be available from Monday, the 17th of May, when the ban on foreign travel is eased. Other countries across the EU have already developed vaccine passports. Denmark's is live, but undergoing further testing. Italy expects to have its app to be ready by this month. Germany's is also ready to launch, but is also under further improvements, as it is hoping to integrate to the EU-wide app. What are your thoughts on this issue? What vaccine have you chosen? Talk to us in the comments section below. If you have plans to travel, check out the deals we have found in the description box below. If you need assistance with a visa to Europe, the UK, or the US, including help with securing your travel arrangements, IAM can help. For visa advice, contact your IAM visa coordinator. If you'd like to get more info on travel, visas, immigration, and citizenship, head over to immigrationandmigration.com for more free content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more travel and visa updates.